Welcome to the click. Let's discuss interest now. The definition is that the profit earned from money over a certain time and rate is called interest. So you have a certain amount of money. You invest that money at a certain time, at a certain rate. The profit that you will earn for that money, on that money, right, after a certain time and for a certain rate, that is called interest. Okay, we have two types of interest. One simple, second compound. The first one, simple. The profit earned from a fixed amount of money over a certain time and rate is called simple interest. So fixed amount of money, okay? The formula is this. I have three parts, which are principal. And principal is basically the same as original money, right? So I have principal, the second part is time, and the third part is rate, okay? And based on these three parts, I can write the formula this way. So the interest is equal to my principal. I'm writing this in the full version, each word, for you to make it simple for you. Principal times time times rate, all divided by 100, okay? This is the formula, but I just wanted to add one note before continuing. This formula is accurate only when your time type is year, okay? If it's not year, if the question asks, for example, in 4 months or in 4 weeks, for example, you should write the time in here in a different way. How? So for example, they say that this is your profit in 4 months. In that way, you should write 4 divided by 12, because 12 months are equal to 1 year, right? And for example, they say that this is your profit in 4 weeks. At that time, you should write 4 divided by 54, because 54 weeks are equal to 1 year, okay? So divided by any number that is equal to 1 year based on the type that it is. And yeah, after that, you're good. So this is the formula. Right now, let's have an example. So I have, for example, my principal. My principal is $4,000. My time is, for example, 2 months. Let's make it a little bit harder. And my rate is, for example, 3%, okay? Now let's just put all these numbers in the formula. So my interest is equal to 4,000 times my time, which is 2 months, so 2 divided by 12 times 3%, divided by 100. Okay, so 4,000 times 2 will be 8,000, right? 8,000, and 8,000 multiplied by 3 is equal to 24,000, right? So 24,000 divided by 12, all of them divided by 100. So let's simplify this at the beginning. So 12 goes with 24, this is 1, and this is 2. So 2,000 divided by 100. Let's write it in here, okay? This is the continuation. So I have 2,000 divided by 100, and this will be $20, okay? So my profit is $20. And this is my answer. Hope you got that. This was the first one. The second type is compound interest. Compound interest is interest where the profit is added to the original money. That is, it's only difference with simple interest. In compound interest, it's like this. So for example, you have a certain amount of money and you add, there is a certain amount of profit added to it this year. And in next year, when you have another amount of money that will be added to this money, it will be added to your original money plus all the profits that you've gotten in the previous year or the years before that. That's basically what compound interest is. And compound, it needs an O in here as well. Okay, the formula. So we have 3 parts again, which are principal. Okay, principal, time, and rate, right? As the simple interest. And based on these 3 parts, I can write my formula like this. My final amount, pay attention, final amount, not interest, okay? Final amount is equal to my principal, or my original money, is multiplied by 1 plus my rate, or the rate, okay, divided by 100, okay, because my rate is in a percentage form, and I will explain this more for you. And principal times 1 plus rate divided by 100, all of them to the power of my time, or the time, okay? This is the formula. So to find the final amount, you multiply your principal or original money by 1 plus your rate, okay, all to the power of your time. But why is rate is written with a denominator of 100? You know why? Because our rates are in a percentage form, right? They're percentages. So we need to write them in a fraction form for the formula to be valid and for our answer to be correct. You might ask that why didn't we convert our percentage into a fraction in the simple interest? Well, in here it's okay, okay? In here it's okay, and in here we don't have to do anything. We don't change rate, we just write it as it is. Let's do an example for compound interest in here right now. So for example, my principal is $4,000. Again, my rate is, for example, 10%, and my time is 2 years. So the formula is this: my final amount equal to principal multiplied by 1 plus rate, right, to the power of time. Okay, so now let's put the numbers in here. So my principal was 4,000 multiplied by 1 plus my rate, which is 10, but I should write it with a fraction of 100. You know why? Because 10 is a percentage, and to turn it into something that can be easily answered in a formula, we should change it to its fraction form. So yeah, that's why we're here, and we're doing this, and the power is 2, right? Because we have 2 years. So if A, or final amount, is equal to 2, let's firstly simplify this part. So I have 1 plus 10 divided by 100. I can simplify this. This will be 1 divided by 10, or 1/10, right? So I have 1 plus 1 divided by 10. To find their LCM is 10, so 10 divided by 1 in the first fraction is 10. 10 multiplied by 1 is 10, plus 10 divided by 10 is equal to 1, and 1 times 1 is 1. So this will be 11 divided by 10, right? Okay, so we have 11 divided by 10 in the parentheses, and let's write them in here. Let's write the fraction. So I have 4,000 multiplied by 11 divided by 10 to the power of 2. 4,000 again. Now let's do the power part. 11 to the power of 2 is 121. 10 to the power of 2 is 100, right? So right now we are just coming to an end, and we're finishing this problem. 4,000 times 121. I should use my calculator for this one to not make the video longer. 4,000 multiplied by 121 will be 484,000 divided by 100, okay? And simplifying this, my final amount is equal to 4,840. Okay, everyone, this is my final amount, not my profit. If under the topic of compound interest, a question requires profit from you, here's what you should do. So, for your profit, you only need to subtract your final amount by your original amount or your original money. So, my profit is equal to my final amount is 4,840, right? And my original amount was 4,000. So doing the subtraction, 840 will be the result. And this is my profit. Keep this in mind. This is also the third formula that you need to remember. But don't take it very hard for yourself. You know, these formulas are there to help you. So memorizing them are not hard, especially for you. I hope you got it. If you've got any question, feel free to ask in our Discord chat room sources page.